The question of the day is, how did church or religious practices influence your community's social life? The church and religious practices influenced my community's social life greatly, in that the church was the center of the community's social life. Outside of school, there was church. In the 50s and 60s, there was Jim Crow. So there weren't a lot of places and activities that families in our community could participate in because of Jim Crow. So we, through our schools and our churches, created our own activities. And most of those activities came out of the church. So my family, my father was not a real every week churchgoer, but my mother, my brothers, my sister, and I don't remember us not being in church on Sunday unless maybe someone had to have a really bad cold or be sick or something like that. But we made it our business to be in church. We were in vacation Bible school. We were in children's choir. We were in Sunday school. We were different activities like brownies and Boy Scouts also were coming out of the churches there. So the churches were just very fundamental to our communities. In fact, when I would meet new children or a new family, the question was not, do you go to church? It was assumed that everybody just went to church. That's what we did. And so the question was, what church do you go to? Because everybody goes to church, don't they? So it was just a very big part of our lives. Also, the things that we were learning in Sunday school and learning in church about God, about Jesus, about what was expected of us, how we were, God wanted us to live, I believe just played a tremendous part in our lives, in that we, in general, just wanted to do the right thing. We just wanted to do what God wanted us to do. So that meant there wasn't a lot of lying, stealing, cheating. I mean, there were people who did that, but for the most part, our communities were just more moral. I mean, I'm not saying there weren't issues and there weren't people with issues, but I'm saying in general, I believe that it was because of the church and what the children were taught at an early age, because in the back of my head, before I do anything or while doing things, I'm thinking, okay, what would God say about this? Is this something that's going to make him happy? Because we had been told that if we were good, we would go to heaven, and that if we were bad, we would go to hell. So nobody wanted to go to hell. So we were always trying to do, again, it wasn't even conscious thing every day, but subconsciously, that's what we were being taught every Sunday, and even in our homes, that God is watching. And so because of that, it just made everybody want to try to do good. And for instance, I remember you could, in the summertime, there are doors open to let air in your home, and you got a screen door there. You could just walk right out of that your house, go to the store, go visit someone, go do something, and you come back, and and your door wasn't locked, but you weren't concerned about somebody coming in stealing your stuff, because you were grounded in God, and most of the people around you were grounded in God, meaning they just wanted to do the right thing. I remember taking your car. You could take your car, park it. In summertime, you didn't have to even worry about rolling your windows up when you went into the store, because for the most part, nobody was going to bother you. Nobody was going to rob your car. Nobody was going to steal your car. And I believe that all of this had to do with the fact that we had God and God's word instilled in us, to the point where, like, again, it wasn't so much conscious. It wasn't like we were on the street corners every day preaching the gospel, trying to save souls, but we innately had this desire to want to do good and to do the right thing. And I believe that because of the church and because of the teachings of the church and the religious practices, I believe that that helped to influence our community to where it was a community of mostly very good and decent people trying to do the right thing.